Hello, my name is Dennis Jacobsen and this is the Business Leadership Academy. This is videocast number 7. It's about this article. Can you develop successful people on the cheap? The answer is yes, you can, but it will require a great deal of work from you by your organization, and not least that you show up. You see, in 2015, American-based companies spent between $12 and $50 billion on developing leaders. In Denmark, the number was $5.6 billion. And I'm not sure that anywhere we are actually gracing this planet with far better leadership and much higher performing people. To some extent, it comes down to the power of habits, which makes people immune to change. I mean, why should they change so dramatically that they become your future leadership bench? How do you get the 2 out of 10 to turn into 4 out of 10 or maybe 6 out of 10? I think it comes down to a couple of principles that you need to work with. Here are 5 of them. Number 1 is make plans. 40% of the jobs we have today, we didn't have 10 years ago. The whole internet thing means that search engine optimizers, bloggers, etc. just won't around. How will it look like 10 years from now? You need to figure that out in your business. If you know that, you also know which path for people to develop. You'll know how technology is going to intervene, how it's going to change the way you do business. But it also starts setting requirements for where people will need to be. They can now develop ahead of the curve rather than after the curve. After the curve means that they actually will expire. The whole knowledge base will actually just be in vain. They can't use it for anything. And they'll become a cost for you. You need to turn that around with plans where you have intellectualized on where the business is going. With that, you create a roadmap, not just for the business, but also for the individuals. Where to go, which standards to meet, etc. The second part is, I think we need to tangibilize what is intangible, which means, can you actually put a KPI on maturity? Can you tell a frontline leader, a leader of leaders, maybe an executive, to which level they actually comply with the maturity supposed to be on their level? I think we have to, because if we don't, how can people stretch themselves, decide themselves to develop? In the same way we can do it with leadership values, we can do it with values that we have in companies, and something like willingness to learn. You need willingness to learn simply from the fact that it gives you innovation, it gives you new products and services. It has a hunger built in for people to actually try new. I think there is a great deal of benefits for you here, and all of that is for free if you sit down and think about what are your standards. The third thing is, JFK said, don't ask what the country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Translate into business today and say, how can we develop leaders by people developing themselves for the benefit of the company? So instead of you doing another corporate leadership program 1, 2, 3, you go back to people and say, read books, let's say the 3 to 5 best within your function. Come back and tell me what you've learned. What did you draw out of it which we can use for either new services, products, things that will develop this company going forward. You want to extend that into all functions of the company, meaning that someone in 3 to 5 years would have read maybe 40 to 80 books. And if you take it into that everybody in the company is supposed to do this, you are sitting now on a mountain of information on which you can either design the future, you can draw up new products, take out new ideas, and you'll have a wild discussion about what is cutting edge and what is new and where your company needs to go. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but it requires you to turn around the proof of development. The fourth thing is this, insource rather than outsource. Someone like me would like to come and get your business, but you can also say, why are we spending people's time and money on going on a course to learn how to do finances? Why not ask our CFO or the controller we have to actually train people in the way we do finance? So not only does it become local, it becomes also usable immediately instead of translating another case study from Harvard Business Review. Look for people who can do strategy, look for people who do sales, production, and put them in front of classrooms of your own colleagues and make them trainers. It would develop them as well. and it's all for free. Now the fifth thing is very simple, and that is leaders show up. It's proven over and over again that when people live up to the highest standards, either of behaviors of leadership, it will have a tremendous impact on the bottom line. If you set the standards not only in your company but also for the industry, if you let people understand that this is what it takes to be in your company, trust me, they would want to be like you. They would want to stretch themselves. They would want to decide on to go where you are. That doesn't cost a great deal. In fact, nothing, but it takes you to show up. These are my 5 principles which I think is necessary to do leadership development less expensive and faster than we do today. You might have a number of ideas. I welcome them all here. But for now, thank you very much for checking in, and see you soon.